Anybody want a chair? So I'm right in the middle of getting my shop cleaned up. This is a giant mess right now. Everything's disorganized and messy. I need to get it cleaned up, organized, packed up, and then moved to the new property. I was up there this weekend and just taking some video on my cell phone and wanted to kind of show you around on basically the new digs. So this is the new shop, and I'm trying not to speak too loud because it's so echoey in here. I'll step away from the door there so it's not, my face isn't all bright. So this is the new shop. It is 20 by 26. Bare walls. Floor's in pretty good condition. Previous owner had a dog. We're gonna have to fix that, clean that up. No big deal. 11-foot ceilings. There's an upper area here. I asked an engineer about that. He said it looks ugly, but it's no big deal. Probably shouldn't use it for storage, which I'm way ahead of him on. Previous owner left me with a little bench full of goodies here and some other stuff I gotta get rid of, but there's a few kind of cool hand tools. 2 big-ass roll-ups. That's really cool. And that goes out past the house and connects to the driveway, which means I can get a truck up here for loading things, which is terrific. First order of business. I would like to get this floor sealed up with epoxy. I'm still kind of debating it. A lot of people say it's a good thing. I've actually had a few people tell me that it might be kind of a coin toss. I'm open-minded about it. I think it would be a good idea to protect it, but if it's going to be more trouble than it's really worth, then I mean, hey, it's whatever. I can always save the money on it. Next thing I'm going to want to do is actually run a sub panel out here. So I got an electrician coming out next week to come look at it. He's going to run a sub panel and that I can get a couple of circuits on, some 220 stuff of that nature. This isn't even active. This runs out and is unplugged on the outside, or clipped, and it just ran straight from the panel inside. After that, I'd really like to get some insulation in between these 2x4s here. Just put in some fiber fill, because I would really like, you know, we have hot summers and cold winters here, and I'd like to be able to work in this shop year-round pretty easily. With the window there and the window there, I figured one of them I could put a little AC unit in. I know those window AC units aren't the best, but I've had decent luck with them, so one, you know, it would help. Anything helps, right? And I got a buddy who has one who said I could have it, so that's nice. After insulation, then comes walls, and you know, like sheetrock's pretty cheap, but it's actually not that much more just to go with plywood. And I like the idea of plywood because I can drill right into it and hang stuff right from it. Sheetrock, as we all know, you have to have anchors, and it gets tore up, and of course if you're doing something like squirting cutting fluid or coolant everywhere, sheetrock doesn't like that either. So I'm wanting plywood. I'm thinking about spending the extra. I've done some calculating on how much it's going to cost, and I think I can swing it. I got to get rid of this chicken cage for the dog. It doesn't smell in here, which is really nice. It just is where they had the dog penned up, and there's a little out this door. There's a little fenced area in the backyard. The plywood I'm looking at, I think it's 11/32. It's right just under 3/8 of an inch. And I'm just kind of right now just comparison shopping, just browsing the Home Depot, and I still need to kind of check between them and like Lowe's and then like some of the local lumber concerns just to see what kind of a best deal I can get. And with those 8x4 sheets, I won't be able to get them all the way up to the ceiling, so there'll be 3 foot there exposed. I'm not entirely sure how much I care. So in addition to doing the epoxy floor coating, as well as insulating with fiberfill and doing the plywood wall sheeting, I do want to get plumbing run for air lines throughout the shop. I figure that's going to be something that's going to be easier to do before I get all moved in and set up. Ultimately, I would love to do heating of some sort, like an actual wood-burning stove. And of course, it goes without saying that I'm going to be hanging lots of good lighting in the shop. And that's something I really enjoy about this shop, is I've hung a lot of shop lights, and I started with just the neon bulb ones that like you see everywhere before I just gave up and actually went with LED shop lights, the big long LEDs. And those are about $25-ish per set. And I prefer them way better. They're a better quality of light, a better amount of light. They are more energy efficient, and I don't have to worry about them going out anytime soon. And I'm thinking one of these other windows that doesn't have the AC in it would be really cool for like a blower fan, for like an exhaust hood sort of situation. I'm sorry, I don't know where to look when I hold the phone like this, so my eyes are here, wherever. It's kind of weird for me. In some of the stuff that the previous owner left, there's actually a few different random scraps of wood here. There's a 4x4 there, a big panel right here. That looks like just some sheetrock over there, and I think it's just pipe and boards of various natures, which is cool. I'll use them. This is a big old board. A big old nice board. I could use that. And some trim pieces. Looks like tile that goes inside. This is a nice little shelf. I hate to remove it. I mean, I'm going to have to get everything in. I'll also have the chance to really start organizing a lot of things better that I don't have very well organized in my shop, like my chemicals, my actual materials storage, some of my tools, as well as actual like waste storage. Like my chip containers are just big buckets of steel and aluminum chips just on the floor, and I hate that. So I'll have a chance to really kind of revitalize and revamp a lot of that stuff and make it more efficient. So there's already a ceiling in place. It's pretty cool. Ugly spot here in the middle. I'm going to take this dang ladder stairs thing out. I'm never going up there. I have no interest in it. Unless to, you know, blow in some insulation or something. There's some crap up there I wouldn't mind trying to get down, especially like some boards there. So that'd be fun. So I'm really looking forward to actual feedback and comments from you guys. If you guys have any ideas or any comments or opinions on any of the stuff I've talked about already, I'd love to hear it now, especially right now before I really have put any major steps in place. I've got the electrician coming next week, at least hopefully. One electrician to get a bid, and then hopefully I'll get that sub panel in there, and then we can actually start doing work. I still haven't done the full move yet, and there's not a whole lot contingent on that, but we're still kind of bouncing between both properties. So anyway, here it is. That's the new building. I'm pretty freaking stoked about it. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen this kind of shot right here already. We just took ownership of it really recently. And so we're still deep in the process of getting moved, and that's going to be a bit of an ordeal. But we have a good amount of time to do so before we need to be out of our other place, so we can stretch it out and no stress there. Anyway, thank you for sticking around. I'm speaking quietly because I feel weird enough holding a camera in front of my face in my new neighborhood.